welcome to a new episode. Today we're going to be reviewing Spider-Man Homecoming. It's been out for a week already. And today I have with me Mr. TikiMike over here. He's going to be helping me review this. So let's get right into it. I liked how it wasn't an origin story. I liked how it just started off with the events of Civil War. And I liked the timeline, how they showed, Peter Parker, vlogging everything as he was not sure what he was doing there at first
from his own perspective, and it's not like a professionally shot thing. It's how an amateur kid would be filming
in the hotel room and stuff like that, kind of freaking out. And
it felt like you were following his Snapchat story.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I liked how it also followed the events of the New York incident in the first Avengers. And then how they're actually showing the cleanup of everything.
The real life consequences of dealing with that.
An
event.
I didn't know they were going to reveal Michael Keaton's character that early in the film. So that kind of threw me off. Like, oh, that's cool. Also, I liked how Peter Parker, Tom Holland, was in actual, that his age 15. It wasn't an older man playing a younger character.
An older man playing, somebody who's 30, clearly 30, that's playing a just out of high school.
Yeah, and it fit very well. The faults in the kid, how he's not. He wants something bigger, but he doesn't know how to get it, and he's always messing up. And
because every event he is messing up the whole movie through, pretty much.
Yeah. And I liked how he didn't know how to be a superhero, and he was just trying to, force it, and get Tony Stark's approval in the whole situation.
Though I don't know. I kind of wish that there was a little bit more of him protecting the neighborhood, because one of my favorite parts was in the beginning, where he catches those guys robbing the bank.
Oh.
And, that was his neighborhood. It had a consequence with his neighborhood being so close to the deli that he normally goes to. And it's more connected to Peter Parker and Peter Parker's story. And I think all the rest of the events all kind of were built up to damage control and the bigger picture that they're building with the Avengers universe.
Yeah. I liked how the deli, it was his neighborhood, and the neighborhood Spider-Man, and just how people were interacting with him. That guy's oh, do a flip, and I thought that was. I think you would see that in the real world if there was an actual superhero, kid, trying to be, friendly and just please the people, I guess. But I liked how you can see throughout the movie the evolution of Peter Parker. Also, what I liked was the suit. The suit was, I didn't like how it was similar to Iron Man, with the whole voice,
the AI,
the suit,
and everything. I hate the suit.
You hate the suit?
I hate the idea that his spider sense isn't really a factor in this movie.
Yeah.
He didn't. Basically, as they introduced in Civil War, that he created his web slinger contraption. But other than that, I haven't seen Peter Parker be the scientist that he is, or inventing things. And I know he's just a 15-year-old kid at this point, and so he probably doesn't have the access to certain things. But I feel like the suit just hands all of his abilities to him, and that I'm sure the suit's aware of his surroundings. He doesn't have to rely on personal instinct, and even his web slinger is just automated now to where.
Well, I think what they were trying to do is stay away from the other ones, the Amazing Spider-Man, who was a scientist, and he was doing all this interaction, and then Spider-Man 1, it was all spider senses, and you'd see a lot of the things, I don't remember, I think it was Spider-Man 2 where the car goes through the window and Spidey sense kicks in.
Kicks in, and
yeah. So I think they're trying to stay away from the stuff that has already been done and try to add something new. And I think that's what they try to do with the suit. But the thing I liked about the suit is like how you saw, the web grenade or they never really showed how he did it. It was just kind of like he did it.
Yeah.
But it was kind of cool seeing a different thing.
Can I just go into? I do really like the movie. I think it's a fun movie. I think it's all based on humor, and I think Spider-Man's character has always been based on humor.
Oh yeah.
But you're touching on something that I kind of just disliked about the movie, and and again I like the movie overall.
Yeah.
But everything is just, I think, cheapened a little. That everything is just based on the alien technology, or Tony Stark being the inventor of everything, pretty much in this. One of the villains that was in the movie that we were talking about was the Shocker. I loved the Shocker when I was a kid. I thought he was one of the cooler characters. I thought his suit was cool, and his suit is not in this movie at all.
But there's hints of it, like the yellow, like it's still. I mean, it's not. I
kind of forgot. Did they show the yellow suit?
It was like, I think it's when they use it, like it, like dyes it yellow. So, but it was only up to here, and
so his suit is actually really important to him. Because it shields him from the vibrations and the shocks of his contraption. I mean, also that it was limited to one hand, not two.
Yeah, not two hands.
Also, he couldn't project the vibrations like he does in the. I mean, did he have projection in this? Like,
not really. No, he just
he had to actually make physical contact for it to.
Yeah, for it to shock. But yeah, I see what you're trying to say about the suit, but I think again they're trying to keep it to like real world. But I think hopefully if they show him again. He'll have the suit.
That is true. He didn't die, he was just captured. Something that came up, and I've read a lot about people talking about Michael Keaton's character knowing the identity of Spider-Man, and that being the last scene of the credits, him choosing to conceal the identity, and why would he conceal the identity? One thing I haven't seen anybody talk about is, does the Shocker know who he is as well? Since he was outside of the high school, and he sees Peter Parker come out of the door, and he's waiting there for him. Does the Shocker also know
that's true.
Who Peter Parker is?
Well, now that you put it in that way, I never thought about that before. He must know who Peter Parker is, because how would he? It could have been a random kid coming out and just socking him.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But yeah, I think he. Unless he told him, this is what he looks like. Most likely he's going to come out of the back door because he's going to do the right thing, or,
Yeah.
Unless he...
I'm going to say yes to know who he is.
That's also true. But regarding Michael Keaton, since the Vulture is, like, Spider-Man's second villain in the comics... I'm surprised they took him this long to actually appear, but I feel like the Michael Keaton kind of nailed it. But you were telling me earlier you're pleased.
No, okay. Michael Keaton's great in the movie, and I don't think he could do any better than he did with what he was given. I think he did a great job. It was just there's one aspect of the Vulture story that I felt like didn't fit with him. The Vulture is a little bit older, but that's okay. I feel like Michael Keaton's up there in age, and that fits. I was actually expecting something to happen, and it didn't happen, and I think that's what let me down. A lot of new technology. I don't know. Did you see the Guardians of the Galaxy movie? Okay, they showed Kurt Russell young in the beginning, and new technology. They just put a lot of effects on people, and they can capture their face motion, and they can digitally enhance them to their younger age. And since the Vulture is an older guy, and at different parts of the series, he's actually invented something to steal youth and make himself younger. I was really hoping to see a Batman age level Michael Keaton. I wanted to see that occur, and that be part of his story of what's driving him to do crime.
Yeah.
But
yeah, his is more like for the little guy, trying to make
sticking
money.
up for the little guy kind of thing, which is a departure from all the other villains that have been in the last couple of Spider-Man movies. That's true. So, which I like.
Mm-hmm. Oh, another thing, there's no Uncle Ben in this one.
No Uncle Ben.
No
Not
reference.
even a flashback.
Nope. Just Aunt May is going through a hard time.
Aunt May is going through a hard time, and that's it. I mean, even his like you said, no origin story. The origin story is drummed up to like one line.
Oh yeah, like when he was talking to his friend, I got bit by a spider, and they made that into a comedic thing, Oh, do you lay eggs? Kind of thing. But what did you think about his friend being the man in the chair?
I like the friend. He's a funny character. He's a good addition. I haven't looked anything up whether he's valid at all in the comic book, but if he's not, I think he adds a lot to the Spider-Man dynamic. And also, Spider-Man's a teenager at this point. He should have a friend at least. Yeah. And in the other movies, he didn't really have friends too much, or he just had a couple associates. He was kind of a loner in a weird way. Yeah. And I think it's good that they brought in a character that could be his buddy, his friend. But,
that's true. Also, what I liked... going back to Uncle Ben. I think that role was put on Tony Stark. Because basically this whole film is about... with great power comes great responsibility. That's what this whole film is about. And that line was replaced with, if you need the suit to be Spider-Man, then you shouldn't have it, or something like. How's it? The line goes.
If you're nothing without the suit, then you don't deserve the suit, or something like that.
So that I think that was Uncle Ben's line, and I think that's
which is why Spider-Man had to put on his old suit, which had none of the powers, and just do it on his own to kind of prove that he did deserve the suit at the end. Yeah, so, yeah. And speaking about the end, I liked how it was, it was mature of him to reject the final offer of being an Avenger and just being a neighborhood Spider-Man. I thought that was pretty cool. Also, the Iron Spider costume? That's what it looked like to me at the end. Yeah, that Spider-Man has some suits that are technology based.
Yeah, and I think this might be the suit for the Infinity War, or that's right, Infinity War.
Yeah.
Going on.
He's definitely going to be playing a major part in it, and I've seen things written that Tom Holland has no access to any of the scripts for the future movies until the movie starts going into production. Oh wow! So I feel like you're right. Yeah, I think you're hitting the nail on that one. Yeah. I think it's going to come out that he's going to play a major factor in those movies to come. What did you think about the possible MJ character? That is she just a nod to the character Mary Jane? Is she supposed to be a replacement as Mary Jane? Her name is Michelle in there.
And MJ is for Mary Jane, right?
MJ was Mary Jane Watson.
Yeah, Mary Jane Watson.
So
I think it's a nod to her. I've heard people saying that, it's their version of Mary Jane Watson, but I hope it's just, someone with this kind of same...
I mean, obviously they're playing her character up to be something more in a future film, with her little suspicious look at the end of the movie, like, hey, I know that you're doing other things. Yeah. So, I mean, what I'm saying is, like, does Mary Jane Watson just not exist in this universe?
I hope...
Because I think it would be weird if there was another Mary Jane, or another girl going by MJ in another movie, and it's just...
Okay, I see what you're saying. Like, yeah, that would be weird, but I hope it happens. Because I've always liked Mary Jane, the first Spider-Man one. I mean, I thought it was, perfect. But, so this MJ, is she... Because she was more like a outcast and
she's more of like a Hermione Granger character.
And, through the comics, MJ's like popular and, hip, but she's also like down to earth, where she talks to Peter Parker and stuff like that. But I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. But besides, I don't know.
So overall, you like the movie.
Yeah.
Where does it fit in your comparison to the other Spider-Man?
Comparison. I'm gonna say this is my second favorite Spider-Man.
Spider-Man the character or Spider-Man the movie?
Spider-Man the movie. Like
okay.
through the 6, right? Is there 6?
I don't know. There's a lot
6.
of them.
Yeah. So still my favorite one is Spider-Man 2. That's still holds the line for me.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think that one. And you mean Spider-Man 2 with Dr. Octopus, Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
And
I wasn't a fan of Andrew.
Not too many people were.
So I hope you guys like my first review. If you have any thoughts or comments on what you guys thought about Homecoming, leave them below at the comments. And once again, thank you, TikiMike, for helping me do this video. I was
no problem. I was glad to be part of it.
Yeah. So stay tuned for my next video coming up next week.